Hello, and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. Today we're going to be talking about Tropical Depression 29, which is formed in the Atlantic Ocean. Right now it has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 1,006 millibars, and is moving west at 15 miles an hour. Now, we're going to look closer at this storm, but if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. So, right now, our cone is showing that this will eventually become a hurricane, hit the coast of Nicaragua, and start to turn toward the north. Now, if this does become a tropical storm or a hurricane, it would be Eta, which would be a record for most named storms in a single hurricane season, which is pretty incredible. Now, we're at the time of winds with wind speed probabilities turned on. Now, this shows that the highest wind speed probabilities on shore are in Nicaragua near the Honduras border, and that is 60 to 70%. Now, let's move on here to the key message. Let's do the key messages. Tropical depression is expected to strengthen into a hurricane early next week as it approaches the coast of Central America late Monday and Monday night. And there is a risk of storm surge, hurricane force winds, and heavy rainfall for portions of Nicaragua and Honduras. Hurricane watches could be needed for portions of those areas later tonight. Through Thursday afternoon, heavy rainfall from the system will likely lead to flash flooding and river flooding across portions of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Central America, which could result in landslides in areas of higher terrain. Flooding is also possible near the southern coast of Hispaniola. Now let's move on here to the satellite imagery. So we're going to scroll down here, and you can see that central pressure area, so the area central rotation. Right over there, we can see some thunderstorm clusters on the northern side here. That's what they're talking about with southern Hispaniola. And we can see some other thunderstorm clusters toward the south, approaching Colombia, Venezuela area as well with some thunderstorms. But good thing for Puerto Rico is that well past this system, this will be strengthening. Jamaica is right now at risk in the very close future here, and then eventually Honduras and Nicaragua. Now let's move on here to the current storm information. So we're going to go to the global and hurricane models, and all of these have it hitting Central America. Most of them have it turning toward the north. Now, depending on where it hits could determine where it turns to. If it goes south, it might turn to the north and kind of loop around here, and if it goes a little bit more straight, it might go further inland and start looping around there. This is all controlled by high pressure, so if that high pressure moves, of course the turn will move as well, but most of these spaghetti models show it making that turn. A few have it going straight through Central America. Now, GFS ensembles have a much longer range. This has it hitting Nicaragua, going through Honduras, moving out back into the Caribbean, hitting Cuba, and hitting Florida. Now, this is very far out. This is 240 hours, so there's definitely some leeway there, and you can see that with these spaghetti strains, as I like to call them, having it going all over the place. So by 240 hours, you're really starting to stretch the limits there. Now, let's move on here. GEPS ensembles, showing this making landfall in Nicaragua and going through most of Honduras before that black line ends, showing their best guess of where this will go. But some of their spaghetti strains have it taking that GFS track. Others have it hitting areas near Cancun and moving into the Gulf. Some of them have it moving into the Pacific as well. Definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. We have seen storms in the Atlantic become storms in the Pacific because of how thin the isthmus, I'm going to call it, of Central America is. So let's move on here to the intensity guidance, which right now the cluster is showing this becoming a Category 1 hurricane, few putting a Category 2 and Category 3, and then once it makes landfall, all of them have it coming back down to tropical storm and even tropical depression strength. Another cluster here has it remaining a tropical storm for a while and not really getting that intensity. Now, this could rapidly develop, rapidly increase in wind speeds. Now, I don't think that's as possible as it happened with Zeta and Laura with the rapid intensification, but it's still possible. Now let's move on here, GFS model. So here is, we're going to actually go back an hour or one run. So here it is. You can see the GFS has it hitting Nicaragua, moving through Honduras, hitting Cuba, hitting the Keys of Florida, and moving into the Gulf, hitting the panhandle of Florida, and moving up the coast. So that's what the GFS has. Now we could go through other models, but that's basically what the GEPS does. So I just wanted to show that and the intensities there. Strength in millibars, I think the lowest here is 962. So that's pretty strong for a storm this late in the season. Now let's move on to weathernerds.org, where we do have the European ensemble, which has this going much deeper into Central America, then taking that turn and possibly hitting Cuba and Florida. So very similar to the GFS ensemble, but just having it going a little bit, maybe a little bit faster into the isthmus, as I'm going to call it for today, and then making that turn toward Cuba and Florida. Now that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.